What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. This is long overdue. I am quite embarrassed that I didn't get the install done sooner, to be quite honest with you. Not trying to give any excuses, but if you've heard me say it a million times, I can't really get this in to the garage like I have every other vehicle. So for me, that's where that's gonna come in. I am planning on getting this thing dropped in a future video down the line when I get the time and the courage, the cojones, to drop that down 2 to 2.5 inches. I'll have no problem clearing this thing. So I just haven't had the chance. Every other car was basically able to just be in here, and it could be 10, 11, 12 in the morning. It could be, you know, 2 in the morning. I could be down here bored installing things, and I don't have that luxury anymore. But here we are, needless to say, again, rambling. We have our Blackvue DR970X-2 channel. This is the newest one that came out. I've had this thing forever sitting in my box down there just waiting to go. And then when I opened it up originally, if you watched the previous video where I did the unboxing, I was missing my B130X battery. That came very quickly. I had to add that part in there, but now I have the camera and the battery. So total transparency, I'm a little nervous about this install. I figured a couple things out that I was gonna have to just be okay with. The back glass, just to talk about it now, it opens up off of the gate, and that does present a problem if I ever open the gate glass. I don't do that. So I'm gonna install this like I normally would on the glass, and what I'm gonna do, instead of how I always did it, where I put the camera on and had the slack going to the front, which in retrospect was kind of silly, I'm gonna put just enough wiring up front. Hopefully, this thing is very long. This is over like 211, 212 inches long. I'm hoping I got plenty of wire to go from the one to the second camera, so we're gonna find that out right now. What we're gonna do is mount the wiring up, run it all the way back, and then I'm just gonna tuck any extra slack in by the dash cam area on the top, just in case there's for whatever reason I have to open it. I know I could, you know, do that, or I could just disconnect the dash cam. I mean, really, it's not that serious. I could open up the gate, disconnect the dash cam, then open up the glass. So I mean, there are things to do, but just giving you a heads up. So we've got the 2 dash cams here. We've got our instruction manual. Yo, is it just me today or what? Come on. Hello? I just had to do the lawn as quick as I possibly could because, you know, daddy and husband and father and, you know, adult duties had to come first before I could play. Otherwise, I'll get yelled at. So this is the cable that's going to have to extend from the first dash cam all the way to the rear. So we're gonna have to hope and pray that this is long enough. I did mention this before, that the last dash cam I actually had help from Workplay Drive, my buddy. I haven't seen him in a while. That pandemic did, it was not good. I mean, obviously it wasn't good, but it just was not a good situation, because that caused a lot of just distance with people, and honestly it sucked. It did. It really did suck. So what? Alright, so we got a 64 gigabyte SD card. It's totally proficient for me. As I said before, these things override each other. It's been a long time, fellas. I haven't installed a new camera since the Hellcat on my own. This is gonna be our beautiful new battery. This is the B130X. And just a heads up, it's gonna be installed in the glove box, but the way it's gonna sit in the glove box is temporary. I am gonna try something. You probably saw this. I might have mentioned it. This is foam clay. I bought 3 pounds of it. I definitely didn't need 3 pounds of it, but I figured if it was cool enough, my kids could play with it too after I get done needing what I needed. But the gist of it was that I was going to oh wow, you could zoom in with this instead of doing it that way. Sorry, that's my ADHD. I'm trying not to make this video too long, so I'm gonna try to cut sections. Jeez Louise, Maron. I'm trying to cut sections out so I don't just talk too much, but this is essentially the set of options, if you will, that we're gonna have. Now, you saw when we opened up the dash cam that we had this. We're gonna use this. You could just wire it directly to the cigarette lighter with this. I don't have a cigarette lighter and I've never really used a cigarette lighter option, but this comes into play because one of the 2 options here, these Harley riders, live to ride, ride to die, or die to ride, ride to live, whatever the hell it is. All right, so on the back here, there are gonna be some options. We're not doing anything USB, that's a charging thing here on this piece. Then there's this section here that says dash cam, there's a section here, DC in. So there's gonna be where the power comes in, and for that, what we're doing is this. So the power is gonna come in through here. We're gonna hook this cable up. We're actually gonna crimp it with one of these in here depending on which fuse size I have. And we have to identify a switched fuse. Now I did some research beforehand, and apparently the switch that I'm going to be focusing on is a USB fuse inside the dash, actually, which kind of helps me. It's the first time I've had something happen that, you know, knock on wood, carbon fiber covered wood, that this could work. So the dash cam battery here is actually going to be right next to the fuse, so hopefully install is a lot more simple with that. But you're going to take, so we're not hardwiring to the camera, so we don't need this one. This would go wired to this, so that would, these 2 things we don't need, so we're going to keep that aside. And this one, we're not powering the actual battery with a cigarette lighter, because technically you could power it with the cigarette lighter and then go that route. Again, I don't have a cigarette lighter. So we've got the fuse we're going to use, we've got to identify which fuse it is, and then from there, this is going to connect on here, and then this piece is going to connect to this, and then this is going to get run up to the front dash cam that's going to power that dash cam. And then from there, we have this piece that's going to be connected to the rear dash cam. So it's all going to make sense when we start doing it in, hopefully. And we just got to make sure we find a power and a ground. I'm assuming right next to a fuse box. We shouldn't have problems doing that. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. I would be filming this on my other camera, but I'm lazy, and my truck's filthy. Like, when I say filthy, I mean absolutely filthy, and I care not today. So we're gonna take all this stuff out. This is gonna be just my area. Apparently, and I've never opened this, but apparently this is where, oh, Jesus Christ. There we go. Okay. So, well, that's cool. A little fuse puller and everything in there. So I'm gonna have to see. So we want F26. That's this. It's a 10 amp USB. So I forget what the actual definition was with this, but what's cool about this fuse is apparently it's a switch fuse. It's probably one of the only ones actually, and when the car's turned off, it still puts power to the car for to that switch for 10 minutes. So that's even cooler because it'll still be juicing up my box Oh, you know what? So I can wire this in and go into there. I'm sure there's gonna be a way to go through and through. Now, from here, basically, we're just gonna be pulling this off. We're gonna just be coming up through here, probably in through this, and in here, and then just coming in tucked. I'm gonna take this off anyway, but I have to put my dash cam right underneath, but then I have to put my radar. So we're gonna see what we gotta do in here. Now our fuse is gonna be this one here, because it's next to these two 50s. So it's 27 and 28. 27 and 28 are 50. Okay. Apparently that's not used. I don't know what that is, but that's the one we want to get into. Alrighty, well, I'm not going to be able to finish this today, but the video it'll be finished hopefully. But I've never seen this. You know, call me, you know, silly, but I didn't know that there was something called a Micro 3, whatever it is. So I just ordered a Micro 3 compatible one of these, and then since this fuse that I'm going into is a 10, then what I'm gonna do is put the 10 and then have the other 10 behind it, so we're not gonna have any issues with the wiring. That stinks. I wanted to get this done today. I don't even know, this is so annoying. It's so incredibly annoying. Alright everybody, this video is obviously one video, right? But let me tell you that the gap between the clip you probably just saw and until right now, it's very real. And I'm gonna explain. As I said in many moons ago, I've had this dash cam for quite a while. As you saw, I guess in the previous part, I ran into a snag. I never saw Micro 3 fuse types before, and then I had a major issue. Okay, so let me, like, as you can tell, I've had quite the dilemma here, and I feel bad because, you know, I'm supposed to have this dash cam in. I wanted to get these videos done, and I'm rolling around feeling dirty like I don't even have my dash cam in. But here's the situation. These are the fuse taps, right, that come with the kit. They're normal fuse taps. You get to decide based on like the size of the fuse or type of fuse, whatever. These are 14 gauge wiring, and absolutely useless for me because the wire that I needed was a 3-prong. So what did I end up having to do here? I've spent quite a few dollars. 3 different orders from 3 different people just for it to not work, because the first time I ordered something, it came in and immediately I knew this was not going to work. 16 gauge wire, or so I thought. So I was freaking out, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to order it again. Then I got another one that said it was 14 gauge wire, ended up being 16 gauge wire again. And mind you, this is on eBay. Going through the return process for something that was like $10 for each package, it's like not even worth it. So I said, screw it, right? Then I went on this other website. It didn't say the gauge, but it said it was rated for what I needed it for, which was going to be the 10 amp or whatever. I think it's a 10 amp fuse. I spoke with one of my buddies, and he kept saying, don't worry, you can use, you know, that 16 gauge and just splice it to the 14 and it'll be fine. My OCD wasn't having it, even though I'm sure it could be fine. I just didn't want to do that. So finally I found the website, tracked it down, and it was another like $12 or $13 just for a solo one this time. But we finally found it. I finally found a where is it? I finally found a 14 gauge Micro 3 wire. So the mission for today is to finish this up, or hopefully finish this up. I got to hook this up to here, so we've got 14 gauge wire going to 14 gauge wire, and I'm gonna try to do some heat wrap on top of it once I crimp this. So I've been waiting for this video for weeks and weeks to put this on. I feel so annoyed by this whole process. So let's hopefully put a period at the end of this and move on. So as I said before, I think I said before, it's been so long since I filmed, we're gonna be doing the F26, which is a 10 amp USB, and it is a fuse that, from what I was reading, is one of the only ones that is a switched fuse. And like I said, coincidentally, it's, thank God, right there. So we're gonna take this one out, put that other 10 amp in here, and I used the spare fuse that came in here because it didn't come with a 10 amp micro 3, but I will be getting a replacement micro 3. But I figured for right now that's the best scenario. Of course, we've got this giant thing so that we can't put it down. I'm hoping this is in enough. I think it's in enough where it goes in, but I hope it's fine, because that'll be okay, but it's annoying. Always something. Okay, we're doing a test. I did end up changing my mind. When I was unscrewing this, there's like plastic behind it and it's not good. So I'm gonna tuck all this really nice. You'll see in a minute. But I found from pulling this piece out that there's a nice ground here that's not being taken. This one is, but this one's not. So I did have to use a step drill to make that washer a tiny bit bigger. Not much, just a tiny bit, so that it would fit comfortably and securely on that. But here we go. We got power to this bad boy, and that's what matters. So now I can seal up the connection and start doing some wiring here. All right, I'm taking a quick second break, give you an update. I was gonna run the wiring up the side here, but I decided I'm gonna try to keep it going in the same spot where my radar is, like tucked in between this crevice, so that it's a little bit more clean. And tucking it in, it's tight, but I got to this portion here, so now I'm gonna try to come down and snake it in here, pull out the weather trim, come down, and then I should be able to put the one wire down and the one wire going, so I can start making my way downtown. Oh my God. Okay, I've made it into the rear of the vehicle. I anticipate chaos from here on out, but that's okay. I knew what I was getting into, and it's worth it. So far, everything up there is alright. It's alright. And we're trying to, like I said, make our way here. I've got everything run up, and I'm gonna make sure it's all nice and tucked in. I'll double check everything. And we're basically just running our way in through there, just like that. Then we're gonna come on up. This is interesting. I guess we go behind that. I gotta see how that all is gonna play out, because then once we get back here, we'll be able to tuck it in there so it'll be secure here in the corner. We're gonna come out here, up, and then should just have a nice amount left to make everything nice. What the absolute shit? First of all, as soon as you remove this piece here, there's the stickiest, like, baby batter cum mess I've ever seen in my life. It's ridiculous. I've been splooged. I thought I had to take this off, but I didn't. If you tug hard enough, there's a clip here that pops off, and this light comes out, So now this is the giant bitch and a half. You gotta snake a screwdriver in, like up in front and push, because there's two little clips either on the front or back to get that. So now I can actually fish this freaking wire. God help me. I don't know how I did it. I had to take the gloves off. I'm sticky as all hell, but it's whatever. I don't even care. So I did this maneuver where I would pull back a little bit, grab it, and then pull, like slinkied it, and I got it. So, oh, hold on. Holy Christ, I thought I put the wrong end. Oh, that would have been fun. Just a heads up, I took a tie strap and I put it here so that this would at least be up and not in my face. And yeah, I'm gonna leave some slack here, just so you know. I'm not gonna open this. This does not get opened for me. So install is gonna be different for me than you possibly, but I will leave enough slack so that if I have to open it, it'll just take the slack out of being tucked in behind here. This I thought I'd scam it, this piece. But let me finish this mess. Okay, wiring update. I put the main camera power wire and the cigarette lighter portion that needed to go through through the back of here. Now, just a little trick so you can give yourself more room. Whoa, can't tighten this. All glove boxes that I know of do this, where if you squeeze the sides in and pull down, they give you some more clearance. And then there's a string on most of them that you can loosen up to really get in there. If you don't have that ability, one of these is amazing, where you can use your claw. Go through a lot of tie straps, because what I want is a fit and finish that isn't messy and all over the place. So it's just trying to put the tie straps there and there, so that, and I did heat shrink tube plus electrical tape over that, and got a cable going up. So that's still a mess, but the back is getting addressed, and I'll check in a few minutes. So we got freaking lights.
Blackvue for your safe driving.
Oh my God!
Starting normal recording.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. This vehicle sucks. Oh my God, I'm gonna freaking cry. Ah. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my God. All right, now I gotta get this camera paired. So I guess this is a seamless pairing model. Oh shoot, kebabbies. It detects the camera. To verify your camera, place your hand on the touch sensor. So that's the touch sensor. Oh Jesus Christ. It just like beep, like I'm at the hospital. What the hell? That's just incredible. So this says you can connect to the cloud, and I don't have any camera connected because when I sold the Tahoe I disabled that. So I'm gonna register this now. Allow it to access, allow. So I'm gonna keep it on Wi-Fi hotspot because I don't have the SIM card yet. I'm still debating whether or not I'm gonna do that. So we're not doing it yet. And then we'll see what happens here. One thing I really love about the Blackvue is how easy things are. Italia. What the hell made a freaking Wi-Fi network here, Italia? I'm gonna have to change that later. Oh, it tells you settings have been changed. Let's see if it works. Perfect. Okay. So good thing is, since I'm right next to my house. I was able to connect to my Wi-Fi, but my phone has a hotspot and my car actually has a Wi-Fi hotspot. So I have either option. Now you're just gonna go through and select your
Cloud connected.
I'm gonna select New Jersey. Why does it say? Okay, well, here we go. Well, I'm gonna change this. We are gonna use miles per hour for us, and tap on more settings. So let's just do that anyway right now. So video, we're gonna go as high as possible. That's the 4K. Audio recording, yes. GPS, yes. Video overlay, I don't want to change any of these settings. Recording mode, normal recording mode, and then we have parking mode. It's going to do time lapse. The system, we can do LED for, I could change all that stuff. Let's lower the voice. I always lower the voice because it's not something that I care too much about hearing. Okay. I'll go back and mess with these later on, but it says right here, now it's formatting my SD card, easily switch between Wi-Fi and cloud. Cool. Then downloaded videos. I'm curious because, yeah, if I click on that, it shows a bunch of my old videos that I had saved on my account from the last one. And there is actually an update, so we're gonna update that right now because we're here, and why not? It's a new firmware. This is gonna be 1.004. We're gonna update the firmware on this bad boy. Like I say to a lot of you, I know some people randomly have issues here and there. Blackvue's customer service is, you know, just incredible. I've never had an issue with them. So if you ever have one of their dash cams and you contact them, things will get resolved. That's just how I've had my experience, and that's not some biased experience. That's just, you know, what goes on. I've been rolling without a dash cam for a long time. Now, I don't know for sure if that's going to be the final positioning for the front or the back. The back, I just took a massive guess. A huge guess back there. Back here, I'm leaving a lot of wiring because I'm going to tuck this in and then put one little sticker. Just so that I don't have any issues. Well, I probably don't even need a thing. I'll leave it. It's fine. This way, if I have to open the glass, I could always unplug this, or it'll have enough slack where it'll just pull, so I don't have to have no glass option, even though I think I'm rarely ever going to use it. Okay, update. As I'm cleaning, I just don't think I had the thing close enough to the camera before, so I put it there and it started doing its thing. I started cleaning up down here, excuse me, but come on, baby. There we go. So it says please do not disconnect the power, and it flashed. So I guess now that the firmware was sent, it's gonna update.
Upgrading. Please do not disconnect the power.
It says upgrading. This is a totally different app. They updated everything, which is kind of cool. Now we got playback, live view, GPS tracking, and reports. And then there's switching from cloud to Wi-Fi mode. Not too sure what that does, but I'm gonna wait for this to be updated before I mess with any buttons.
Starting normal recording.
And excuse the fact that my car is now green yellow. Pollen season, baby. So let me close the app and reopen the app. So now that I closed and reopened, it very quickly compared to the other app. Took a little bit longer, not much, but that was awesome. And there's cloud and Wi-Fi. So if I go to Wi-Fi mode, I wonder if that opens up live view. It does. So duh, am I stupid? That's the dirty window that it's looking at. Now where's the back camera? The front, and then the rear's probably pointing toward the Skyzilla. Yep, and the rear is God only knows where. Alright guys, that's it. So I'm not 100% sold on the wiring just yet, but I don't hate it at all. I know that there's a limited amount of options here because I didn't want to go up this way. I think that would have looked kind of crappy. Now I still gotta clean it. This car's dirty. Inside of the window I'm gonna clean because I've been touching things and sweating on stuff and it's been kind of gross. So that's fine, it's whatever. But those are all things you have to expect. So far, the only thing that really matters now is that everything is connected, it's put back together, I didn't break anything, and it works. That's it. I got my blend mount here. This is another video you'll see with my Uniden R8, and that's hardwired into the actual innards of this through this website. So I have a whole video coming out on that stuff too. But so far, I like it. I like it a lot. It is a tight fit. This does have trouble coming off. So to get this off, I don't anticipate having to take it off, but if I do, I have to just remove the camera, take the radar off the mount and just loosen the mount a little bit. Maybe not actually, because I did have the mount back here and I moved it more forward so that I could have more space here so that I could, you know, maneuver everything and have clearance. I do like that this goes underneath, so there's nothing obstructing the actual front and back of it. And then we've got our camera in the back, which is lined up. Chef's kiss, we're good. Yeah, thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you're an OCD OG, then you are very much accustomed to the chaos that probably ensued, to very much used to the length of this video that's probably extremely too long, and you're used to the fact that I was not going to stop until I figured this out. So now my wife's texting me screaming that dinner's done and that, you know, I need to come inside and blah blah blah, and I love this woman, so I'm gonna get my ass inside before I get murdered. But thank you so much for stopping by. I hope everybody's staying happy, healthy, and humble, and I think we're good here. We got a cool little setup. I think I'm finally just happy that this piece is back. It's been off for a week and a half while I had to go get that that part, and you know, it's just one of those things. This install is not hard. It should have been way sooner done, but you know, I had no idea that there was a micro 3 fuse. I didn't know that existed, but as you can see, we're back to normal. There is a video coming out soon, but that'll be something for you to look forward to. Yeah, I did another thing. Anyway, hope everybody's doing good. Love you all. See you soon. I gotta clean up. Blackvue for the win, baby. Oh, by the way, discount code OCD at checkout of Blackvue. These cameras are expensive, rightfully so. They are priced accordingly, in my opinion. My mama always said good stuff ain't cheap and cheap stuff ain't good, and this is good stuff. So go check it out. If you want to save some money, use that code. And if anybody has a need for a micro 3 fuse tap in a 16 gauge wire, I've got a lot, so shoot me a message. All right, goodbye.